Hey guys, you know, one thing that I mentioned in my package opening video that I did, where I opened up the packages that had the Vinyl Scratch DJ Pone 3 fan series figure, as well as the Golden Oak library set, which is based off Lunar Eclipse from Season 2. One thing I briefly mentioned in there was the fact that Hasbro, from what I can tell here, is working together with San Diego Comic-Con to open up an online store on Amazon. Now, whether or not this is going to be open for a while, I don't know. It says here, according to Equestria Daily, if I can pop this up for a second. Hold on for a sec. Gotta get back there. Come on. Here you go. Here's the article. It pops up. It says Hasbro is running a Comic-Con feature on Amazon with 80s style pony shirts and more. According to the article, it states, and I quote, it looks like this is the article by Equestria Daily, and I quote, and it's Nate who brought this to attention. Again, I quote, hold on, this is what the article says. It says, it looks like the 80s are the focus for Hasbro this year at San Diego Comic-Con, with a dedicated shop now up on Amazon selling a bunch of vaporwave style shirts and other things to celebrate the occasion. For whatever reason, Star Swirl the Bearded is another running theme on this one. I'm not complaining, though, outside of the lack of top Egyptian horse. Of course, they're talking about Sambanella from Shadowplay. So, yeah. I don't know how long the store will be up, but it's unique to see. The art, like I said, there's a couple of t-shirts I don't have yet. I need to look at what I do have, so to make sure of what I don't have. Let's see. Pony Squad, Neon in the 80s. Let's see. Power Pony, Pony Squad, Best Friends, Spike, Rarity, Main 6. So the only ones that I don't have really are basically the four of the individual ones, that of course being Twilight, Applejack, Fluttershy, and Rainbow Dash, and Pinky. And then I think Ponies, didn't it say Pony Squad on there? Yeah, it says Pony Squad on there, so I got that one on there. And Pony Power and all that, so. So the only ones that I don't have yet is, like I said, the individual ones, the Lunar Eclipse Inspired t-shirts, and that's about it. Let me see, I think there's more I have here. Yeah, it's just the individual ones, and I think the Star Swirl, the Bearded ones, and the Spike and Twilight ones, and that's about it. So hopefully if they keep this store up for a while, I might end up getting some of those other shirts. They'll probably sell them anyway afterwards, because you can't just put these up and then take them down. I think they're going to have them up for a while. But yeah, But yeah, it seems Hasbro's theme, according to that article, is for San Diego Comic Con this year is the 80s, and it's not just with MLP either. Transformers is being a subject of 80s. I guess you could say retro, because of the fact that a lot of the fact that Hasbro is going to be reissuing a lot of G1 figures again, some that have been reissued before and some that have not been reissued. And this is not just individual figures either. We're talking whole sets as well. So like the G1 reissuing of the Constructicon set, maybe the Aerialbot set, who knows. But that's kind of an example of what you're getting with Transformers, and I think the reason for that is the Power of the Prime figures that have been coming out, as well as the Titan Returns figures, with a few changes and additions here and there, and being a little designed bigger, sculpted bigger, and all that. They're very reminiscent of the G1 designs, and I think that's, by doing that, Hasbro has really triggered a feeling in a lot of the adult fan base that grew up in the 80s, like myself, that want to see a return to those kind of figures, to those kind of style of figures, or at least a celebration of it. And that's what Hasbro obviously is doing here. They're using this opportunity to celebrate the 80s. You know, next year, in case you guys don't know, is going to be the 35th anniversary of Transformers as a whole franchise, as far as it being here in the States. You know, this year marks 35 years of My Little Pony, and heck, 35 years of G.I. Joe Real American Hero, the Hasbro version. So, the 80s version anyway, that I know of. So, to see Hasbro, go in this direction, I think is a great idea. And some people, I think, have already mentioned that perhaps what IDW did with an issue one time, in fact, I actually printed out the cover. I'm not going to take the frame down. I'm going to try to see if I can find the number of it. Maybe I can find the number online. But the issue number, that is. Whoa. Almost fell there. I have my dog's pillows right here. She likes to go back and forth between the bed here and her pillows. So, anyway, like I was saying, there was an issue of IDW that was done. I can find it. I think it might have been 64, perhaps. Maybe, I'm not really sure. Yeah, it was issue 64. Issue 64. Someone posted the comic on YouTube. But yeah, issue 64 that came out this year. Basically, its plot was that Rarity and Fluttershy were going to Manhattan on separate business occasions, and Rarity is horrified or shocked at the sudden resurgence of the classic 80s style of dresses and accessories and stuff like that. So some people, as I was trying to say, some fans, I believe, have speculated, and I'm just taking the time there, have speculated that perhaps when the person behind the story presented this idea for a issue in the IDW comics to Hasbro, that Hasbro not only approved it, because apparently in the comics you can have a little bit more leeway than you can in the cartoons, I guess, which is obvious. But anyway, Hasbro not only approved this story, but also probably saw the potential for a new line of merchandise to sell, and not just to sell to kids, but to sell to the overall fan base, because Hasbro, let's be honest, they know they have an adult fan base. They know that. And obviously they saw the opportunity to give back to the adult fan base by basically saying, hey, let's celebrate the 35th anniversary of MLP by distributing, easy for me to say, distributing an 80s line of merchandise, from clothing to toys to collectibles, you name it. And that's what they did. And that's what they're doing at San Diego. Again, I don't know how long the store's going to last. It might stay on there for a while. I got a link to it all set up so I can check it out even afterwards. But I'm pretty sure the shirts will still be there. I'm going to get a few more of them down the line. But the point is, for Hasbro to do this, I think, is a great move. They realize that money still can be made on nostalgicness, and they realize that a lot of people, like I said, because possibly of the Power of the Prime series, and mostly how not just the series, that animated series that's on Go 89 and Makishima, I think that's what the site's called. Not only does that have the characters kind of redesigned in the 80s like style, if you will, but the figures themselves that represent the Power of the Primes line, the Titans Returns line, you name it, are very reminiscent, if not identical, except for a few changes and additional accessories here and there, to the 80s line. And by doing that, like I said earlier, it's triggered some kind of emotion in a lot of adult fans to want to go back to that time. And there's a lot of adult fans that have been wanting to go back to simpler times like the 80s and the 90s. You know, it's because, yeah, we didn't have the technology and stuff we do now, but it was like, wow, you know, we had great toys. We had, we had great fashion sense, if you will. We had great hairstyling sense, if you will. You know, we had great cartoons. We had a Saturday morning that actually mattered and made us want to get up early on a Saturday morning. You know, stuff like that. So it's, just stuff like, it's just those little things here and there that Hasbro did that basically, and other companies have done, is basically triggering those emotions and memories. And again, I think Hasbro, they see an opportunity to make money, and as well as make an additional new line based on that nostalgia, and go from there. I mean, heck, one of the things they're selling exclusively at San Diego Comic-Con, which will probably be on sale on Amazon and in stores down the line, is a gift set with 3 figures in there of Pinky, Rainbow, and Twilight. But the gift set is in the design of a cassette player, kind of a carry-around cassette player, or like a boombox. And on the back, one of the things it says is, writing the soundtracks of friendship since '83. And that's one of the things you'll notice if you see these things, if you see these MLP 80s inspired designs and figures and apparel, is it'll say '83, marking 35 years. So I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, just to see that is unbelievable. Just to hear that they're doing that's just really unbelievable. But that's not just the only thing either. I mean, it's great that they're focusing on the 80s. That's being like a major theme for them here. But as far as other stuff goes, they have a gray sculpture of what's known as the Bushido figures coming out, which is basically an anime version of the Equestria Girl versions of the characters alongside the ponyfied version. So the gray sculpt that they have of that so the gray Bushido figure they have is a Pinky, and it's of the human Equestria Girl's Pinky and the pony Pinky, and the pony version of Pinky. So you got that in there. You got a few figures that I've already shown off, like the Meat Rarity and stuff like that. They have some other ones. They have some plushes in there that look pretty good. I'll probably try to pop some pictures up here as quickly as the best I can. If not, if I don't pop any pictures and I just upload this, I'll provide a link to where you can check this out yourself. Another thing, which was a surprise, looking at the time there, Nate had, I'm trying to look at the time again, sorry. Well, okay. Not Nate, but Chris was his name, had uploaded some pictures from Comic-Con, from the whole, I mean, they have this whole section, Hasbro has this whole MLP section dedicated dedicated to the series, but also has a bit of an 80s theme going on as well. And in that, like I say, in some of the displays, like you say, you see some of the stuff that I've shown off, that Ben and John of Ben's Toy Ben have shown off, stuff like that, as well as the 80s inspired theme they're going with. But then another thing that stuck out to me is inside one of those glass displays was a Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray was a combo pack of both, that comprised of both the 2017 MLP movie and the 1986 MLP movie. And it's according to what I was able to read, because I was able to read a little bit on the front cover of that, just barely enough. It said 4-disc set. So what that tells me is this combo pack, which combines the MLP movie that came out last year and the 86 one. What that tells me is we're finally getting the 86 movie on Blu-ray. And if it's through this combo pack is the only way we will get it, then hey, we have 2 copies of the 2017 movie. If we're going to get it individually on its own down the line, that's great too. But that's one of the things I noticed in the displays, in those pictures that I think Chris, his name was, had provided from San Diego Comic-Con. And there's a lot more as well. They also got the Equestria Girl figures they just brought out, displayed. It just some other stuff as well. I'll probably find out more about what's going on this weekend. But really, I just thought I'd come on here and let you know what's going on with MLP as far as San Diego Comic-Con 2018 is concerned, from what I've seen, from what I've read, and from what I've bought online. Just thought I'd let you know what's happening. And really, that's all I could say. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like, and I'll talk to y'all later.